In the beginning, it was wild.
Swear too much on this podcast, but it was a man den in here.
If I can do it, I'm 57 years old and I can learn new tricks. Anybody can do it.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good. Welcome to Our Upcycled Life podcast.
Another episode of us chatting and sharing tips and tricks and upcycling and crafting ideas and behind the scenes. It's been fun.
Before we get right into it, I do want to talk about my new recording location that
I
people
know.
might have noticed that it looks much better than it did
Yes.
before.
Yes.
And I'm in my very own office with my
I,
all my decor.
I know. It looks fantastic with all your thrifted decor.
I went on a huge, actually, let's talk about that because I did go on a huge thrifting trip
Yep.
last week. So I think we talked about it a little bit in the last episode where I was saying how I was redoing my office downstairs because in the house we have a little office in kind of the main floor of our house, but my husband was using it mostly, and it was a man den. Big time. It was, I don't want to swear too much on this podcast, but it was a shit show man den in here.
Yeah.
There was stuff everywhere. There was papers everywhere. It was not organized. He had like a racing penny like pinned up on the wall that I took down. Like it was bad.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really work in here that much. So I said, I'm taking it over because I have to do a bunch of stuff in an office and I'm literally working from my bed. So I came in, completely took everything over, redid it. And where I live is a very, very small town. There's 2 thrift stores. And I exhausted all my options of those thrift stores. Like I literally, the last time I went to the thrift store, they were like, I think you've kind of looked at everything. Do you want to like look through the back where we haven't put the stuff out yet? And
When you
sure.
get like the backstage pass at the thrift store,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
Yeah. So I take a ferry into Vancouver, and it's not too long. It's a 40-minute ferry, but last weekend I took the ferry into Vancouver to visit all the big city thrift stores.
And you got some amazing finds.
I did. I found a lot of really cool stuff. A lot of it is kind of my like what is on here. So there we go. This candle that is holding like SD cards and stuff. It's actually like an old Avon jewelry case.
Yeah.
But it's like perfect for holding like little SD cards. And
Yep.
then just some other like an old liquor glass bottle. I got this painting. These 2
You've got
things
some beautiful
here.
stuff.
That was actually this picture here is one. Rob took that when we went to Portugal, remember?
I know. I remember that guy on the corner
Yeah.
on a day that we were on an uphill hike in Lisbon.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that was already in here. That was his one piece of art that was in here that I kept. Yeah, so I got all that and I went into this insane thrift. I don't even know if I would call it like a thrift store. The name of the store was called Urban Repurpose, which was, so I went in. It was definitely like a vintage shop where people just come and drop their stuff off, but and next time you come, we should go because you go in and there's like a million rooms and each room is labeled a different thing. So there was like a lamp room, there was an upcycling room, which was just like kind of scraps of stuff, broken stuff, like rusty hinges, doorknob, like things that you could just pick through. There was a vintage room, which just had a bunch of like really cool vintage stuff in it. There was like a furniture room, which had like all those antique hutches and stuff in it, tables, desks. Like it was so cool and very, very reasonable. And as I was in there, I kind of realized that because Vancouver is a really big film city, so a lot of people were in there to decorate sets. So they were going and getting like set deck stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a really cool store.
That would be what next time I come out. Here's an idea: is that would be a fantastic video to do like a vlog style and kind of take people through each room and show them what was there because that would be interesting.
Yeah, there was a lot of really, like I could have spent hours there. But I needed to control myself because I only had like one room that I was trying to fill. So
Yeah, and you did a really nice job on your little studio. Yeah,
yeah, I'm
it's
not
good.
totally done, but it's definitely a lot better.
Yeah, looks good. Good.
So today's podcast episode topic that I want to talk about is we want to take you less about talking about thrifting and upcycling and all that, more about the behind the scenes of how we actually run the channel and how it works.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people realize the extent of the work that it takes for a channel our size to keep rolling and putting out content and keep everything on all of the platforms. So even if you're not going to start a channel, it's kind of interesting to know about the process and what it takes to do it.
Yeah, so your main kind of format of video is you thrift something, you upcycle it, show the finished product, and so maybe let's take us through the process of doing that, maybe what you use to film, how you film things,
Mhm.
and kind of going through that whole session.
So I find that my channel has two types of videos. I have what's called an evergreen video, which is
Yep.
something that is going to be relevant 2 or 3 years down the road, which would be like a tutorial of like my chalk paint recipe, furniture wax, how to make stencil paste. Like I have a lot of those type of videos where if you're going to YouTube and you want to learn how to make stencil paste, when you type that in the search bar, my video is going to show up. So I have probably 50% of my channel is those types of videos where I'm not actually thrifting, but I'm showing you a technique that you can use on your thrifted projects. And
Hmm.
then the other 50% of the videos are thrifting and going to the thrift store and finding something, bringing it home, and taking you through the steps of me upcycling it and the products that I'm using, how I'm doing it, and then how I'm styling it.
Yeah, and using the techniques that you have already shown people in the technique video. But you
Yeah,
might
I
just have like six techniques in one because you're doing all these different upcycles.
Yeah, exactly. That can absolutely happen, and a lot of times it does. And I want to make sure when I'm showing you how to upcycle something, and I'm showing you how to like decoupage fabric on a piece of furniture, I want you to be able to go back to a specific video where I've showed you that technique.
Hmm.
Where this thrifting video is just kind of we're just going over the surface of it because you can go back to the original tutorial and see how I've done it and get all of the steps. So that's the base of my channel is trying to have those two types of videos and it's worked really well. It's a nice flow through the channel.
Yeah. So sorry, my nose is running. I keep like having a
You're in allergy season.
yeah, like bad.
Yeah.
My eyes are so itchy. Um, so how do you like from a technical standpoint? How do you actually film your videos? Like the because I think people would be maybe less surprised or a little surprised at what you're able to do with kind of a pretty small setup.
Yeah, I have a very simple setup for filming right now. I am in the process of building my studio up and using some bigger and better equipment. But for right now, I do everything on my iPhone. Everything.
Yeah.
I am filming every step along the way with my iPhone. So I if you're in you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel or filming some of your projects that you're doing, you don't need a lot of fancy equipment. The iPhone features are fantastic, really, a lot of them, that you can film a whole video on your iPhone and put out a pretty good content.
Yeah, I would say like if you are interested in doing, something similar or doing some just, video, you think that you have something to teach people or you want to show people what you have, you really only need to start with three things, which would be a phone camera
Yep.
and you make sure you don't have a really old iPhone because the cameras have gotten a lot better in the last couple years, but a phone camera, a small light, and a tripod. And that's really all you need. And you can get most of that stuff. on Amazon for pretty cheap.
Yeah, honestly, and that's exactly how I started, was just
Mhm.
a cheap tripod, my iPhone, and just point it down to your project and start talking and filming. And
Yeah.
the other thing that's really important too, which in the beginning I didn't know a lot about, and now and I'm still learning and it's still getting better, is sound quality. And to get yourself a
Oh,
good
yes,
mic.
yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, to get a good mic. That's really important because you can have a really good video, and if you don't have good sound when you're talking, that's somebody is gonna click away right away because it just doesn't sound very good. So, but even really good mics are not even that expensive anymore to get. My mic that I'm talking to right now, I I was around $100, and it's a good quality mic, and it works well.
Yeah. And I think because now like, if you're on YouTube and you're watching YouTube, like, you can see the level of production that the top channels are putting into their channel, and it is almost the equivalent of a, professional TV show. So people are
Yeah,
expecting a certain level of quality from video and sound, just because of the way technology has gotten.
yeah.
Um, but it's not out of the realm of possibility to do that yourself. It's just a few simple things. And maybe you could also talk about your process of learning how to do that through watching YouTube, because that's how you learn to do most things.
That's 100% how I learned how to start my channel. There's so many fantastic channels out there that will take you through how to start a YouTube channel, beginning a channel, the things that you should do and shouldn't do. And when I got to the point where I knew that I really wanted to be serious about my YouTube channel, I binge watched video after video on how to improve them, how to mm, film better, and yeah, plus it was something that I was really interested in too. So
Mhm.
it that took it to the next level. Instead of me going to YouTube to watch someone else crafting or upcycling, I was going to learn how to improve my YouTube channel and what I needed to do to make my videos better for my followers.
Well, and using it as a resource technically, like, you figured out how to use your mic, how to best set it up, how to
Yeah.
connect it to your computer,
Yeah.
um, how to edit things, like, all of that you can learn from YouTube and
Yep.
just kinda spend the time, and a lot of it is pretty easy, but you just need to kinda take the time to learn and figure everything out, so that's definitely a resource that you can use for sure.
Yeah, and in the beginning, it was wild. Trying to
Well
figure out trying to figure out how to use everything and do it properly and settings and, it was a lot. But, every video, I just learned a little bit more and got a little bit better and a little bit better and I'm still learning and still making things better.
Mhm,
But, I mean, if I can do it, I'm 57 years old, and I can learn new tricks, anybody can do it.
mhm,
It
and if
also
you go
helps
and
it also helps that I had family members that were, like, picking up the pieces too. When I couldn't figure something out, I came to you or I came to your husband or one of my nieces, and it's like, "Ah, you guys gotta pull me out of this one."
But that's an important tip as well, is, ask for help. If you're
Yeah,
overwhelmed, just ask for help.
yeah, and
Um,
just start. Yeah,
and
if
just
it's
start,
something.
and you can go back and watch some of your older videos and compare them to now, and that's definitely a lot better now than they were then.
It's actually kind of fun though because I've created that memory bank. I think we've talked about this before.
Mhm.
I've created this memory bank where I can go back and yeah, and see the progress and even those earlier videos, I'm still getting a lot of views on them
Yeah,
because they have value. Like I'm
the
still
content is valuable.
the actual content is really valuable. I may not have had the best angle when I was filming. I might not have had the best mic or I might have had like this long intro, but the actual, you know, beginnings and endings and middle of the video are still really relevant. So it's fun to go watch and see how much we progressed with the channel.
Yeah, and I think, what has benefited your channel a lot, which kind of getting into, like, a little bit of the nitty-gritty of, like, behind the scenes stuff, but, you and I, and like just as a team, do a really good job at the SEO part of it, which
Yeah.
is knowing what people. So SEO, if anyone doesn't know, is search engine optimization. So
Yes.
those are the things that people are searching for. So keywords that people are looking up, trends that are happening. Like everyone sees the trends that come and go through this space, and like decorate, like you know dark academia, boho, like
Yeah.
the difference, farmhouse, and now it's like modern farmhouse, not rustic farmhouse. Like, so those are all SEO keywords that you can use. And from the very beginning, we have, to the best of our ability, optimized your videos with those keywords, and knowing what people like and knowing what people are wanting to learn. And that has driven traffic to your channel.
Yeah, and also we should add in there too that I also am very thrifty, very economical. Like I don't like to go and spend a whole bunch of money on craft supplies. So I was very much trying to create videos that was going to give just the average crafter that didn't want to spend $100 on, stuff at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, how they could make those recipes themselves
Hmm.
and still have a good product. So I think we've done a really good job of teaching those techniques and having those videos available for somebody that wants to do it on a budget.
Yeah, and staying true to that, and because that, and I think you touched upon something really interesting, especially in like the YouTube space and the influencer space, is authenticity. And
Yeah.
I feel like now more than ever, people can see right through someone if they don't feel like they're being authentic. If they feel
Yeah.
like they're putting on a persona, or which there's a place for that, like there's a place for characters and people like to watch that. But I think that if you are authentic to who you are and what you're doing, then people will understand that and people will see that and they'll want to watch it. And because you could have, full disclosure, like you could have started your channel in this thrifty mindset. Oh, I thrift everything. I don't like to buy new, blah, blah, blah. And then brand things come rolling in and you're pushing a bunch of stuff that people have to buy from Michaels or whatever, and now it seems off because that's
Yeah.
not how your channel started.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a place for really staying true to who you are and knowing what people are looking for and just staying authentic to that message the whole time.
Yeah, and I think we've done a really good job at that. Um, just talking about brand deals. I have done brand deals in the past, but they have to be very, very relevant to my channel. I'm not going to try to push a product on somebody that's not like why am I going to send you to a website that's selling something for $300 for this product that I'm not going to buy myself. I'm going to go to through the thrift store and I'm going to look for something that
Hmm.
I'm gonna be able to find more economical. So that's one thing that, yeah, I've been really careful about and not taking on. I don't even remember the last time I did a brand deal, and I have people
Yeah.
approach me all the time, and it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right for my channel to promote something that's not uh, upcycling or thrifted or something like that. That being said, I actually have a collab coming up in the very near future with an amazing wallpaper brand, which is
Hmm.
something that you can't thrift. You can't do, sometimes you can find some older wallpaper in thrift stores, but it's kind of sketchy whether it's going to work well or not. So that is one that I have coming up soon. And I feel good about something like that because that's something that's I can add my thrifted stuff around the room, around the wallpaper to make a beautiful spot. So
And the important part of that is it was something that you actually needed because you're
yeah,
redoing a room. So
yeah,
it's not, you didn't do it just to do it. You were like, okay, I have this need. I need to, redo this room. This could be an opportunity to partner with a company that A, their product isn't going to waste, and B, it is something that you can't really buy secondhand. So,
yeah.
yeah, let's partner on this. But yeah, you don't really do a lot. The only time that I would like really consider a lot of different brand deals, would be stuff that we're like actually using. Like,
Yes.
for example, you probably hear a lot, like if you listen to podcasts and stuff, like Squarespace.
Yes.
We actually use Squarespace for our website, which, like, Squarespace, hit us up
Yes.
if you want to do a brand deal because
Yes.
we actually use your product.
Yes.
But that would be something that would make sense for us.
Yeah.
But pushing a bunch of crafting products
That we can make
doesn't really make
ourselves.
sense.
Yeah.
You can make yourself, yeah, there's like very few that I think that you consistently mention in your videos that you would have to, like, Mod Podge, Rub and Buff,
Yeah.
Sealer, like those are things that you have to buy. And but yeah, that's so in terms of streams of income,
Yeah.
that is one that for you doesn't make a ton of sense right now, and for your demographic, it wouldn't feel authentic.
Yeah.
For some other people, it does make a lot of sense and they make a lot of money from it. But
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah, just not where we're at right now and where we want to be. So,
mhm.
yeah.
So do you want to talk a little bit, cuz I think people might be interested in knowing, like, how you actually do make money on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea actually because they're seeing you and I show up every week and we talk about working together, our working relationships and everything that's going on behind the scenes. And it's like, well, how are you paying for all of this? How are you making income from all of this? And it's kind of interesting how it all works on YouTube and how you can make a living doing it.
Yeah, so basically, and some people might know, some people might not know, but YouTube, when you first start posting videos, you don't make any money on them.
No.
You just have to get views, and you see how popular they are, you see if they gain any traction, and you have to hit a certain amount of subscribers and watch hours before you get monetized, is like
Yes.
that's basically what they call it. So it's, what is it? It's 4,000 subscribers and
It's
1,000
actually
hours of watch time?
yeah, and I think it might have changed over the last little bit. I haven't paid attention in such a long time because I've met all those, but that would be something that all it would take would be a search on YouTube, and you could find out all the information of what you would need for hours and watch time to get to
Yeah,
that point. That being said, I did almost a full year before I made a
not being
cent.
monetized.
Before I made a cent on
Mhm.
YouTube. So this is
Yeah.
kind of a journey where it's not a get rich quick system. You're only going to get out of it what you put into it, and you have to persevere through that time to get to the point to get monetized. So you have to kind of be set up where it's not your main, like, that's not your main income that's coming in. You probably, if you haven't started a YouTube channel and you wanna pay your rent, then you're gonna have to keep your job,
Yeah.
probably for, 6 months to a year until you can get your channel rolling and you know that it's going to work and it's gonna provide an income for you. And like I said, I was almost a year before I got my first paycheck from YouTube.
Yeah. So you hit that, you start putting videos out and you hit that monetization. So now what happens is your channel is able to accept ads placed over
Yes.
your videos. And
Yes.
those ads, the companies that put those ads on your videos, which everyone has seen, it's a vast different segment of companies that are doing commercials. Like, my commercials on YouTube right now are diapers. I get Pampers and it's very, very targeted and they know who their demographic is.
Yeah,
Um,
and we should say before we get really deep into this, we don't control that. Like,
no,
we have
no, it's
no say.
all
We have
no.
no say over any ad that you're seeing on your videos is put there from YouTube. It's not put there from us.
Yeah, so YouTube is deciding what you as the viewer see, who they think you as the viewer is, and what products you are most likely to buy. And that's
Yes.
what they're seeing. We don't have any control over that. It would also make no sense because you do have people of all different demographics watching your channel, and giving you an ad for Pampers diapers makes no sense, but it makes sense for me because
Yeah.
I have a kid diapers.
Yeah,
So,
exactly, and we also have no, and also YouTube places those ads within the video,
yes. Yes.
so we have a little bit of control over when those ads go in and when you see them, but the majority of the time, they're placing them when it seems right in the video to have that ad pop up, and I know sometimes I'll have people in the comments, "Oh my goodness, there's so many ads on here." And it's like it's not that's not our us doing that. It's the platform that's doing that. And the only way that you can kind of get around that is if you've got a premium plan where you don't see ads, but
Yeah.
that's just how life is. Everything now has ads on it. So,
Well, and honestly, if you just go, like, how you pay for anything, even at the top, like, if you're watching a show on Apple Plus, do you know how many products are in that show that have been placed there because Coca-Cola has paid them $1 million
yeah.
to put everyone in that show only drinks Coke and not Pepsi? Like,
Yeah.
that's how everything happens. So, um, yeah, advertising is just, there's no way around it, and that's how you make money, is basically you
Yeah.
get AdSense money.
So that's how I get money. So here as a viewer watching my videos, this is how you can help your creators or your favorite people on YouTube that you're watching is a lot of times we get paid when you watch an ad. So if you're only watching 1 minute into the video and you're clicking off, you probably haven't seen an ad and that creator is not going to make any money from you watching that video. Uh, the best way to help creators is watch a video, of course, from beginning to end and watch those ads. And then
Mhm.
that way, that's how they're getting paid for the content that they're making. And,
Yeah,
and that's just how the system works. So,
and this is why everything is so variable and changes so much between creator to creator, is the people who are paying for advertising slots on YouTube videos, is it's almost like not a lottery, but like a bidding system.
yeah,
So they determine how much money your audience is worth, and that is how much they pay to have their ad on your video. So that is the amount that they'll pay for every 1,000 views. And that number, so the number for every 1,000 views changes wildly between channel to
drastically.
channel, like
Yes.
an insane amount. So some channels may have millions and millions of views, but their CPM is really low. So the amount that advertisers pay per thousand, they could be making the same amount as a channel that only gets 30,000 views a video
Yeah,
because their
exactly.
CPM is really high. So you honestly can't know how much someone is making, or like, sometimes people with smaller channels are making a butt ton of money, and sometimes people with massive channels are not making as much as you would think. So
Yeah.
it really just depends, and so much of it is just it honestly is like, it's like putting a product on the marketplace and the consumers are determining how much it's worth,
Yeah.
because it just it's how much you like. If you put down like your demographic, if you were to kind of confine it into one person, so like your demographic is a 65-year-old woman, retired woman from, honestly, Texas, like that's probably where you're, like, if you had one person as your demographic, well, what it does, what the advertisers are saying, okay, does this person, if she's retired, is she on a like straight income, or does she have, extra income? Does she have a little bit more income than people with kids, so maybe she's a little more valuable? Like, all of that is happening behind the scenes,
Yeah.
that determines that number that you get paid for them to put a commercial on your YouTube video, and
Yeah.
we have no control over that.
No control whatsoever, no. And the big thing is even with all this being done in the background, if you've only watched 30 seconds of my video and clicked off, then that's irrelevant because we're not getting paid because you haven't even watched an ad. So our mission as a content creator is to keep our videos engaging and to keep people on the platform watching as much of our video as we can so we can make a paycheck.
And it's in YouTube's, like, honestly, sometimes when I'm watching YouTube, I'll kind of get sucked into the ads because YouTube has done such a good job at what they think I want to buy.
Yeah.
So, like, it's all in YouTube's best interest to put ads on your YouTube channel that you're actually kind of interested in. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking now of that ad that I always get on YouTube from it's a Rascal diaper brand.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And so cuz now if no one knows, we're Canadian, and I don't want to get political, but the tariff situation, this is where, we've got tensions going on.
Yeah,
So I'm getting a lot of commercials that are like Canadian made. This is Canadian. Like, don't buy American, buy Canadian. And Rascal is a Canadian diaper brand.
okay.
So they're putting commercials up. But they have this jingle in their commercial that gets stuck in my head all the time. And it's like, the whole commercial is about how like kids are nuts and like we get it, so like we make diapers that'll clean up the mess, and it just goes, we get it, da 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 da, we get it. And I'm like, that is it's a great commercial. It got me like, I'm kind of thinking about switching my diaper brand now because I
Yeah.
know they're Canadian. It gets stuck in my head every day, and then I'm thinking, I'm like, that's actually like the commercial aspect of it is also kind of an art because it's a whole marketplace, and like my husband does that sometimes, like he works in the film industry, and so I'm like, you know what, sometimes just watch the commercial because A, they're good, and B, someone put a lot of work to make that commercial.
Yeah, yeah, true. And the other thing is watch the commercial because you're supporting your creator.
Yeah, and also Rascal Diaper Brands sponsor us, sponsor this podcast.
Yeah. That would be something that would be very relevant to our channel right now.
I'll take free diapers. You don't even have to pay us. I'll give me free diapers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, in a nutshell, that's how as creators on YouTube we make money is through the ads that you're watching. So a lot of people think it's on the actual views, and it isn't. It's on the
Like
actual
it kind of is
kind
because
of. Yeah.
more views makes you more money because it's per 1,000, but it's more so what you're getting paid per those views.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah.
the more views you have, the more money you're gonna make. But well, that's not even true because sometimes you have a video that has less views but a higher CPM, so you're making more money on that video than
It
another
gets very
thing. But
technical, very
yeah,
technical, and, yeah, and there's also other ways other than YouTube that you can make some income. The one is through brand deals, and the other thing is Facebook. You can get monetized on Facebook also for videos over there. We're not gonna talk about that right now because I lost my Facebook. I got hacked,
yeah,
and, with thousands and thousands of followers over there. And that income was ripped right out from underneath of us. But we're moving forward.
we're not Mark Zuckerberg fans in this house.
Not
Should I
right
say
now.
that?
Not right now. Not
If
right
we
now.
do
And I
this podcast long enough, people are gonna like really start to understand my views, and they might be like, "Hmm."
yeah, no, not at this point right now when you can't get any support whatsoever through. And here's a way of summing this up completely. Imagine having a business that you made income for your family with it every day. You were selling things out of your storefront, and all of a sudden you go to work one day and the door is locked and it's gone. And that's
Mhm.
exactly what has happened with Facebook. And then you can't call anybody. There's nobody to call. There's nobody to talk to. There's nobody to get it fixed. And so Facebook's a little bit of a dumpster fire for me right now.
It is insane the amount that I had to bite my tongue when you were talking about that. So many things were popping up in my head, and I just yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So,
just it's just it's indicative of the current tech bro climate. I'll just say that.
yeah, yeah, it's been really tough for us because I mean, we do well with our channel. It supports you and I, which we're so thankful for. But when you have things like that happen that are completely out of your control and no way of fixing them, and you haven't done anything wrong other than some scammer has come in through the back end and taken over, um, makes you kind of bitter.
Yeah, and I mean, so kind of, I guess, to bring it back to what we're, I guess, kind of talking about, where if you're interested in starting something like this,
Yeah.
YouTube has been great. YouTube
Yes.
has been
Oh,
such a
fantastic.
supportive platform, and you have
Yes.
been part of a partner program that has helped you. Like, you have like one-to-one YouTube support.
Yeah.
And yeah, it has been, and I honestly think because the platform as a whole just knows that they do better when they have creative people making good content on their platform, and they want to help those people, and they want to identify those people who have basically like a future career on YouTube.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've been so good. It's
Yeah.
been so if you're looking to do something like that, YouTube is a really good platform to start something. And they will, if you get some traction, you have help from, like, you can reach out to people on YouTube. They have programs that help up and coming creators, and it's a really good space. And honestly, they are, like, to me, YouTube is treating their creators and the people who are on their platform honestly like a studio would with people who are making film or television for them, like.
100% agree.
Mhm.
My experience with YouTube Canada in general has been unbelievable. The support that we've gotten as creators on YouTube.
Mhm.
So that's where our main goal is to improve our YouTube channel and keep building it out. And now that this has happened with our Facebook, it's even more so like why are we putting time and effort into something that's not going to support what we want to do or help what we want what we're doing? And yeah, it's been good. And other ways, I guess, other ways of how we make income on the channel that we can maybe touch on, our Etsy store.
Yep. Yep.
So we have digital downloads that I design myself for your crafting projects, and that's been fun to kind of keep the Etsy store going. And Kirsten does a lot of the back end work on that, getting them uploaded in the Etsy store and promoting them in our newsletters. And yeah,
Yeah, so we have that, and then so I guess in terms of like it would go YouTube and then Patreon, which
yeah,
we make money on Patreon as well. So that is people, if you don't know what Patreon is, it's a subscription service. So you pay a little bit every month and you get access to um a graphics library. So a lot of the graphics that are on Etsy plus new graphics are added every week, and you pay $6.99 a month, and you always have access to that library. So you can download graphics whenever you want.
yeah,
And it ends up being a lot cheaper than if you were someone who was like continuously buying graphics on Etsy, this would be a great option for you because it ends up being a lot cheaper.
yeah.
Um, so we make money from the people who are signed up for that Etsy. I think that is that it.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the
Yeah.
main
So
majority.
those three like streams of income is what basically makes up like the Our Upcycled Life business.
Yeah, and it's not something that I could at the point where we're at, it's not something that I could ever do on my own, ever.
No, no.
You've been helping me out for 3 years now? I think it's been
Maybe almost four.
yeah, maybe. And I mean, if you wanted to start a YouTube channel and just do crafting and just kind of show some project, you never have to be at this level. We've turned this into a full-time business, but definitely you don't ever have to be like that. You can just put up a video a month and have fun with it. But when we've turned it to a business, uh that yeah, there's so much more stuff that gets done behind the scenes after we film the videos that you take care of. And we also have two other people on our team that take care of stuff
Mhm.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah. So maybe you can explain what you look after.
Yeah, well, if we wanna talk about, like, everyone's roles, I guess we can. So,
Yeah.
like, you are the content creator, so you're the one who, decides what's gonna be made into content, so you are, like, the creative head, I guess, where you're the one who's making all the decisions on what the videos are gonna be about, when they're posted, you film them, and then once you've filmed your videos, then all of that footage gets sent to me. So I am the
Yeah.
one who is editing all the videos
Yeah.
for the most part.
Yes.
Um, so I edit them, put on the little graphics that you see, all like, the sound design, the little twinkles and stuff, all the music. That's the what I do.
QR codes for
QR
products
codes,
that we're
all that
using.
stuff. Yeah. So that's all me. So then I upload that to YouTube. You do the thumbnail. title, everything that gets uploaded.
Yeah.
Um, I also do, like you said, behind the scenes on Etsy, all the Patreon stuff, the graphics library on the website, the newsletter. So all of that is stuff that I'm doing.
And maybe we'll talk about just quickly, if anyone is interested in any of these things that we've talked about right now, if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, everything we'll
Mhm.
put down below in the description. Sign up for
Yeah.
the newsletter. It's full of tips and tricks and all the new videos so you don't miss anything. And if you're interested in the graphic club, on Patreon, fantastic resource for crafting and
Hmm.
very affordable. And you're helping support our channel too. So
Yeah.
very much appreciated.
Yeah, so those will all the links for that will be in the description, and, yeah, so that's kinda what I do. Like, and I guess the brand look and the brand, like, kind of where the brand goes is me for the most part. So we've been like that's also a good point. We've been like quietly rebranding, so I don't know if anyone's noticed yet, but we've kind of changed the logo, the colors, all your banners are different. So that was something that I wanted to focus on, was just having like a consistent brand image across everything.
Mhm.
So that would be my role. And then in the past year, we've brought on two other people, which are also part of the family. They're
Yes,
your nieces and my cousins.
yeah, yes, which is
So
nice,
we have, yeah.
and because we've been able to keep it within the family and help them out too with,
Well, and they also just like happen to have skill sets that we needed. Like
yes,
Emma, who came on first, she is a graphic designer, so she helped us out. She did all of our new branding,
yes.
and it looks great. She did all that, and then she helps us design like some of the Etsy stuff that goes out. She helps design. She does our Pinterest as well. Oh, I forgot about Pinterest.
Oh,
Pinterest doesn't
Pinterest.
make us any
Yeah,
money, but
she does a huge amount of work on Pinterest for us.
mhm,
Yep,
mhm.
scheduling pins and, getting that stuff organized.
And then we have Maddie, who's Emma's sister. So,
We need
sh
a
I know.
family tree to see who are my sister Rachel's daughters.
Yeah. So Maddie is social media. So she does a lot of or she what she does for a job is she runs Instagrams and stuff like that. So she is running your Instagram right now. She's the one who's posting all the reels, stories, like so she gets content from you or I, and then she posts that on Instagram so that we don't have to remember to do it every day, because we don't remember to do it every
Well,
day
it's not even
because we're
not
too
remembering,
busy.
it's just having the time.
Having time. Yeah.
Yeah, I
We don't
mean,
have
when
time to do it.
no, I mean, when we're worrying about stuff like that, I'm not filming a project or you're not
Mhm.
getting the next newsletter ready. So, it just got to the point where it was, like, way, way too much on our plates to try and juggle and do it properly so we could give everyone that came to Our Upcycled Life the best experience that they could get for our content. Um, and that's what we had to do.
Yeah. So that's kind of been like that's our in the last honestly the last 6 months is
Yeah.
when we've kind of had this team of 4, and we're just trying to get a little bit more organized and structured, and yeah. So it's grown from just you posting videos to having 4 people
Yeah.
working away and getting everything done that needs to be done.
And the nice thing about having 3 people on my team is, I I'm like I said before, I'm 57. Technology, apps, all of this stuff. I do a good job at filming videos and coming up with content and thrifting, but, having 3 young girls on my team that are so creative and so organized, we won't even go about the whole organizing, uh, has been a godsend to have that happen.
Yeah. And I think the biggest, like, I've always been in anything that I do, in any job that I do, I if you have a weakness and you know that that's something that you are not able to do as well as you can, and maybe don't have time to learn, because you can also learn and, get new skills, then find someone who doesn't have that weakness and is good at that and have them work for you. Like
Yeah.
it's something that I think really helps a business is when you have people who can fill gaps and
Yeah.
kind of take you to the next level. So that's
Yeah.
kind of what we're trying to do.
It's really hard sometimes to let go of that control and let somebody else not make decisions, because obviously you and I have the last decision, but to make changes or to do different things. But what we're finding in our experience of bringing on new people onto our team is the the things that they're bringing to the channel are things that you or I might not have been able to think about. Like, well, let's use this example. Maddie this morning, she took a clip out of our last episode, our podcast episode, that was kind of
Mhm.
funny, was kind of engaging, and I would have never ever thought of it, but she pulled it out and she's like, "I think this clip would make a really great reel. It's kind of funny, and I think it would be a benefit to your audience." And it was fantastic. And I thought, I would have never thought to be able to do that. So it's great to have young minds that can work like that.
Yeah, and it just like the more people that you have that can provide context to things, just the more that you're going to have better ideas and more brainstorming and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
think it is beneficial, but definitely when you're first starting, don't feel like you need to have a
No.
bunch of people working for you.
No, no.
Honestly, just get people to watch your stuff and make comments. Like that
Yeah.
would be the main thing is like if you're starting to put out videos, get one together and send it to people. And I know that's hard. I know some people is like it's a very vulnerable thing with anything when you're putting yourself out there, but if you can get past that a little bit and just be like just give me advice and don't just say it's good because I want to know what I can do better, that will help you so much.
Feedback. Yeah, get some
Mhm.
really great feedback. And a lot of times we don't, even now, I mean, I'll do a video and I've watched it and I'm like, yeah, that's good. It's informative. It follows through well. I've touched on every talking point I needed to. Um, and then you watch it and you're like, oh, you probably should have maybe added this here or there. So it's always nice to have input from somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of been our fault because you're filming and I'm editing, like then I see it from a different viewpoint so that I can provide that input when I'm watching it and I haven't been there. Cuz you do like when you film stuff, I think you get like not blind, but just like you don't see things because you already have a set idea of what something should be while you're filming.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And then you kind of get stuck in that box and then if you
Yeah.
have someone else who wasn't there filming and doesn't have that preconceived notion, it sometimes helps in just like
Yeah.
the storytelling aspect of the video, it helps.
Yeah. Well, I think that if anyone was interested in what goes behind the scenes here at Our Upcycled Life, I think this was pretty informative. I think it kind of explains how this whole ship is put together and how we make money from AdSense on YouTube and how we started. And maybe it's inspirational for someone
Or maybe some people are just nosy. They
or
just
just
want to know.
nosy. And that's fine. I love people being nosy.
I'm
Send us
nosy.
questions if there's something that we didn't, that we didn't talk about. Go down to the comments and ask
Hmm.
us, and we'll guide you along.
Yeah. Yeah. Always welcome for questions and maybe we'll do another Q&A episode soon in the future. I can pick some questions out from people that I've asked, but
Yeah,
yeah, throw
that's
them
good.
down.
All right. Thanks for chatting, Kirst.
Thank you. Thanks for
All right.
listening.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.